2K17, the prelude is out now, and 2K TV has all the details. Plus, find out what we have in store for our new season. NBA 2K17, the prelude is out now, and 2K TV has all the details. Plus, find out what we have in store for our new season. NBA 2K17 Prelude is out now, and 2K TV has all the details. Plus, find out what we have in store for our new season. NBA 2K17, The Prelude is out now, and 2K TV has all the details. Plus, find out what we have in store for our new season. NBA 2K17, The Prelude is out now, and 2K TV has all the details. Plus, find out what we have in store for our new season.
I'm coming home. New York City, baby. I'll be honest, I'm pretty excited. Mama, Pops, and Cece, yeah, they're going to be there. Playing in front of them in an NBA uniform for the first time is going to be a special moment for me. Now, I know all of Harlem's going to be watching. No pressure, right? It's all good, though. I've been waiting for this my entire life. And I'll be ready.
From New York, 2K Sports proudly brings you Knicks basketball. Looking at the last game for the New York Knicks, it was a loss to the Bucks. And guys, they were in that one to the very end. They just couldn't put it together in the last few minutes. They lost by just 2 points.
And you know what? A shame that either team had to lose that game because you had to be proud of the way they battled in it.
Yeah, I suppose that's right, but it still was heartbreaking. I mean, you hate to lose in OT. No matter how hard you played, you want to come out on top if you're going to play those extra minutes.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. On the court for Atlanta, Millsap at power forward with Horford at the center. Dennis Schroeder is out there with Kyle Korver. And it's Cephalosha in at small forward. With almost an entire new group here. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Lopez. Thomas comes in for Porzingis. Derek Williams checked in for Anthony. And Roten subbed in for Aaron Aflalo. And the Hawks will go for a different look here. Splitters checked in for Horford. Freak comes in for Paul Millsap. Kent Bazemore's checked in for Cephalosha. And it's Teagan for Kyle Korver. After a rookie season in which he really struggled, Dennis Schroeder made big strides last year.
Yeah, I think pretty much dramatic improvements across the board, Kevin. Really a most improved candidate for sure. He solidified that reserve unit for the Hawks, in my opinion.
And here's Schroeder following Tony Roten's three. And a wide open look for Freak. And off there, he misses his first shot of the night. A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
I was able to talk with Kurt Rambis for a moment. He knows they've got to really dig in defensively, facing a very talented offense. He said if you let them get going, they can run off a big lead and really put you behind the 8 ball. We've got to be disciplined, work together and be prepared to make second, third, and fourth efforts. Whatever it takes to get a stop, that's what we'll have to do. Kevin, we'll see if they can get a win in this, their first matchup of the season.
All right, Doris, they're probably well aware of the firepower they're up against here.
You know, it sounds like it. I mean, their coach knows how tough it is to slow this team down, and he wants to make sure his guys understand that as well.
Yeah, I guarantee he got his point across when prepping them for this one. He focused clearly on their absolute toughest effort defensively.
And the defense looks... Early on, they've got to sum it up a little more sense of urgency.
Yeah, they've got to do a little more to disrupt their offensive rhythm, too.
The Hawks leading by 11. 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Teague kicks to Splitter. Back to Teague. The feed to Splitter. Second chance shot, and that's 2 points on the layup. Splitter's got his second bucket tonight.
How about the start that they've gotten off to here? Huge lead, and we're still in the first quarter.
And, guys, it hasn't just been the scoring. I mean, they're playing tremendous defense, too.
And the offense has come together immediately. I mean, they're threatening to run away with this thing already.
Greg, it's hard to imagine they'll stay this hot for 4 quarters, but if they even approximate that, watch out.
And before the game, Carmelo Anthony talked about how he prepares himself mentally to carry this team.
It's easy. It's basketball. It's out there having fun. It's out there working together. You know, the biggest thing is the defensive end. As long as we keep that up, we're going to score enough points to, possibly win basketball games. So I'm definitely not concerned from that aspect of it.
You don't hear too many players, Greg, saying it's easy and they're not too concerned.
Yeah, or talking about possibly winning basketball games. But I have a feeling he's more concerned than he talks about, and when he says it's easy. It may be for him, but it sure didn't look easy for the Knicks last season.
Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start the second quarter. And now we'll get perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for the Hawks.
They've set the first half tone by getting out on the fast break and getting the defenders on their heels.
The other thing that's helped them early tonight are the points they've been able to convert off turnovers.
On the court right now for the Hawks, Teague and Korver are the guards. Millsap at power forward with Horford at the center. And it's Cephalosha in at the 3 slot. And he knocks down the first one. Well, nobody said, Greg, being in the NBA was for the faint of heart. The Knicks in a few short years have gone from a playoff team, unfortunately, to the worst team in the NBA.
Hard to fathom, Kevin, that the Knicks did enter last season with playoff aspirations, but that quickly vanished. They were just completely overmatched and overwhelmed.
You know, the Knicks made the playoffs every season between 1988 and 2001. It's kind of strange now to see the Knicks struggle to get into the playoffs so often. Only 3 trips in the playoffs the last 10 seasons.
Lopez dishes to Afflalo. Shot's good. Afflalo's got 4 this quarter. Atlanta leading by 13. Teague drives in. Makes it off the glass.
And listen, the pressure is always on the Knicks to make the playoffs just because of where the team is. Being in New York, can have its advantages, but it comes with expectations that your team will be in the postseason. Nice job creating for the easy deuce.
A minute and a half gone here in the second quarter. To the paint, here's Horford, banked in off the glass. Horford's got 10 points.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Well, I agree with you. 4 of their last 5 baskets have been exactly of that variety.
That was big because they dug a big hole in the first quarter, but starting to show signs of life.
Sometimes, for whatever reason, a lot of times you don't know why. It takes a little while to work the knots out, but looks like they're putting it together right now.
Anthony's shot is off. The Hawks leading by 13. Sefolosha passes to Porter, and Millsap slams it in.
And that's how the coach would draw it up on the fast break from start to finish.
Yeah, and what a finish it was, guys. Really nicely done.
Anthony kicks to Lopez. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And Robin Lopez, last season, he missed about 6 weeks with that broken hand, but freak injuries aside, he's been pretty durable over the course of his career. Had played in all 82 games the previous 2 seasons.
Two shots.
That free throw good from Lopez. And Robin Lopez signing a new contract this offseason. He had been significantly underpaid for his production over the last 2 seasons.
And, Kevin, you knew he was due for a raise. 7-footers who impact the game at both ends the way he does are really valuable.
Chris Humphries has checked in for the Hawks. Mike Scott comes in for Sefolosha. And both free throws good for Lopez. When you look at the numbers for Robin Lopez, Clark, they won't blow you away, but his impact is a lot bigger.
Exactly, Kevin. I mean, he's unselfish as a player, does all the little things. He's not focused on his numbers or shot attempts, and that's a welcome deal for coaches and teammates. He just wants to help his crew win.
And speaking of the intangibles for Robin Lopez, he's great at boxing out for rebounds and setting screens offensively. Again, things that there really aren't stats that are kept, but those are ways you can impact the game. And those are the kind of plays that often go overlooked.
And the first one at the line is good. Group in for the Knicks. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Lopez. Thomas comes in for Porzingis. Williams, he's checked in for Carmelo Anthony. And it's Calderon in for Roten. And the Hawks will go for a different look here. Splitter's checked in for Humphries. Freak comes in for Mike Scott. Kent Bazemore's checked in for Paul Millsap. And Dennis Schroeder's subbed in for Teague. Here's the screen. Here's Schroeder. The pick gave him all the room he needed, and he knocks down the J. Schroeder's got his second bucket of the game to go. And stolen by Freak. And that one's good. Schroeder. And the Hawks lead by 18.